probably should have opened all this mail up. My other credit card company. My debit card about expired too.
You gotta check those. How you doing,
I'm
ladies and gentlemen? We are back. Oh, you're not seeing things. No, no, no. It's not Wednesday, but
it's
it
not.
is Sunday, and you are here with your favorite uncle and your favorite cousin. Sunday Endgame, where we will be recapping the weekend of sports. How's it going, Jody?
Man, you know what? I thought I was doing good on my fantasy team today, but then you know what I'm saying. I was like, I swear to God, every single time I play somebody, it's like they have this one player that waits to they play my fantasy team, the one that had a fucking
And
game
go
with his
all
pride.
and have the
Now
game of their life.
I know Derrick Henry. I know Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, um, Derrick Henry ain't no scrub. But today is all days. You want to go for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns? Like, come on now, come on
I
now.
know, man. It's heartbreaking.
But that ain't even the part, bro. Every single one of my players today, right? This is an anomaly that happens to me every once in a while. Every single one of my players today balled out today, except Brady. Like, I'm looking at. Listen, I'm looking at my fantasy team right now, right? Hold on, let's pull it up. Like, hit me up. Tom Brady, 75 point game, which is
Oh,
Alvin
yeah.
Kumar, 60 point game. Gibson, 27 point game. Mike Evans, 22. Jalen Waddle, 34. Hell, even my tight end managed to pull up 25. Other running back, 7. My kicker, 6, but that's kind of normal. My defense, 26. It's like everybody did pretty good. So I'm up. What's my matchup? I'm up 312 to 143. But the problem is,
Oh,
what the problem is, Nick still got one, two, three, four. He still got 4 players left. So, and he
which
got Joe
four
Burrow.
plays are those?
Bro, Joe Burrow. I didn't know Joe Burrow was the number one quarterback in fantasy.
Oh, you got Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but he's still 2-5. So that must mean T Higgins and H Hurst must not be doing that good. But yeah, man, welcome back to another episode of Endgame. We here to recap your NFL. But before we go to NFL, we gotta talk about a fight. You know.
You gotta talk about college.
Oh yeah. So, where we want to go first? We want to talk about the the scuffle in Ann Arbor.
Oh, they brought new meaning. They brought new meaning to the word fight zone.
I mean, so to a certain point, it's like as a coach. Okay, so you a coach. Like, how do you handle that situation?
I mean, whew, that's a tough one. I mean, as a coach, you like to see the passion. You like to see, the pride that they have in your program. But on the other hand, you don't want to see that. That's a that was like a straight gang bang.
It was. It was not. It was not good at all. And honestly, I heard more about the fight than I did the actual game.
This is true.
The
I
game.
mean,
What was the score? Like 29-7.
yeah, it was like 27-7. I mean, Michigan thoroughly handed Michigan State, but man, I know there's going to be some consequences and repercussions coming down for that one because you don't beat up an opposing player in that manner. I mean,
No.
you literally beat them up, jumped on them, and I mean, as a coach, I'm looking at the leaders on the team now. Like, why y'all didn't stop this? Why people wasn't in there pulling people off and
It,
saying, "Hey,
it was like one person. Was it a whole fight? Because the clip I seen was one Michigan player getting into a scuffle with like 4 or 5 Michigan State players in the
that's
hall.
all it was." Because
So yeah,
one,
it was the cooler has been prevailed. Um, you gotta have the right captains and the right people in there. Um, you gotta have the right people in there, and it's just a sucky situation. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying, I'm not terribly upset because that's rivalry football. You know what I'm saying? That's how them boys really feel it. We get to a fight. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, um, I don't want nobody to blow it out of proportion. Honestly, bro, it's you're passionate. You jawing off. You want to fight. It's passion. I think the coaches should handle it in house. Um, you know what I'm saying? I don't think this should be a whole NCAA thing of suspending players and whatnot. I think everything should be handled in house. I think they should get a nice stern, like, hey, bro, do better, and everybody should kind of move on about their business. You feel me?
I feel you. Now, with that being said, we're gonna talk about another ass whooping. Uh, Kansas State, Oklahoma State.
Right. I thought I
Oh,
was tripping when I seen 48-0. I was like, well, I be damned. All right. Well, I guess Oklahoma State cheerleaders must have came off the bus instead of the football team because
I
this
mean, it had to be. Man, what? Woo! What in the world was? What was that team at? They was ranked number 9 and didn't show up at all.
that's what happened when your offensive line dominates the trenches.
Man, I mean, did y'all even want to play yesterday?
No, no, you can tell. Obviously, it showed in the scoreboard.
They too busy thinking about trick or treating on tomorrow or something.
Y'all,
Because
y'all should have dressed up as a football team.
for real, like,
You trick or
for,
treat should have dressed up as a football team.
but few upsets also. Uh, number 10 Wake Forest goes down to Louisville.
They
You
couldn't
know,
contain. They couldn't contain that.
48-21.
They couldn't contain that quarterback.
You
That's
know,
every single time. Keep letting that boy get out that pocket. He gonna run. He gonna run circles on you. He do it every time.
freaking number 20 Cincinnati. Last year's darlings went
They
down to
lose to UCF.
UCF 25-21. You know, number 25 South Carolina losing to Mizzo
Well, South Carolina was overrated. They had
23 to 10.
they had a couple good games and they got that SEC hype. We in the SEC, we had two good games, so we need to be ranked.
Uh,
That, that's all SEC hype.
was it? Man.
South Carolina, yeah.
Then
Hey,
Tennessee remains in the top 3, obliterating Kentucky 44 to 6.
hey, Tennessee got Georgia coming up. Ain't Georgia number one?
No, yeah, Georgia number 1. Yeah.
So number one versus number three?
Hey, should be a good one.
So, question, right?
Right.
So, if Tennessee loses to Georgia, how far back would you drop them?
Well, since Georgia number 1, I would drop them. Matter of fact, for me, it depends on the margin of defeat. That bad boy 56 and nothing. We gotta put him back. Like, you don't belong up here.
Hey,
They
they lose 56. They lose 56-0. Tell you, I'll be on live. They were who we thought they were,
were right.
and we
Now if
let them.
they lose something like 10 to 7, 24-21, drop them a couple of spots. That means they belong up there. They can hang out. They put their big boy pants on.
Okay. So I was just sitting back like, bro. So I want to see Tennessee for real. Tennessee's been playing hella good ball, and I want to see it there for real. But other than that, I don't think it was a college football day. Georgia got to do better with the turnovers. They was up 28-3, and
Yeah.
they turn the ball over like they were -3 in turnovers. They had 3 turnovers in the second half. Like,
I mean, Florida ain't no scrub squad, but
I mean, they not. I'm not saying Florida's a scrub. Not dissing Florida at all. What I'm saying is, if you don't turn the ball over 3 times, that keeps Florida from scoring. You know what I'm saying? 28 damn points.
no,
20.
they scored 20.
Yeah, it keeps that game a whole lot down, a whole lot further because you turn the ball over 3 times and gave them 10 points off of 3 turnovers. It's like you put them in the game because at one point it was 28-3. And tell you at that point I'd have turned it off. And then I did. What am I watching for? It would be like last year. Remember last year game? They just kept scoring. There was like 35-10 at halftime or whatever. I thought it was the same thing as last year. And then
Deja vu.
next thing you know, it's 28-10. You know what I'm saying? 28-13, 28-20. And I'm sort of looking like, if Florida on the comeback trail. And then I started watching like highlights of it. And it was just like, oh, it's a bunch of turnovers. It's like, come on, bro, you can't. Georgia turning the ball over. So hopefully those turnovers don't affect them because Tennessee does have a good enough offense to capitalize on those turnovers. And Tennessee's offense kind of reminds me of LSU offense in 2019. So you
Oh,
can't keep giving them the ball because they will score.
hey, looking forward to a very good game.
Oh yeah, that's all. Hopefully it's a good game. I love a good game. Speaking of good
And
games,
this year those big showdown games have been really disappointing.
bruh. Speaking of games, Miami and Virginia go down the quadruple overtime for a 14-12 finish.
Um, okay, maybe I don't know what's going on down there.
Um,
They
the
they
offense,
started off promising
the
and hot.
offensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator got to go. Gantz, the Michigan offensive coordinator, he sucks. He's not as good as we wanted him to be. I think that they have to get in touch with the times where you need to put some like college football is running spread offense all over the place. You cannot run a pro style with these athletes in college football. Run a spread offense, man. Stop
I
playing.
mean, mm,
Unless you Alabama and Georgia, okay. If you ain't got a line of Alabama and Georgia guys, stop trying to run a pro style offense. It ain't work. Well, speaking of sports, Anderson Silva loses
oh
to
my God,
Jake Paul by unanimous decision this weekend.
I think
How you feel about that fight?
I think we got some rigging going on.
Uh oh. So what you trying to say, Telly? You don't think that fight was what it was?
Come on, man. Anderson Silva, that's a bad man. You know, then Jake Paul got the feeling himself. Want to call out Nate Diaz and Canelo, and it's like, dude, please go have several seats, man.
Now, are Nate Diaz and Canelo in his weight?
Yeah, they in his weight range, but he wanna get down, and box these guys. Then his brother running around up in pro wrestling trying to become a champion and all. I'm like, boy, I tell you, it looks so different. The world is a different place nowadays.
Listen, anything to make money. I ain't mad at
I
him.
agree.
All
Hey,
I'm saying is,
make your cheese.
listen, until Jake Paul fight somebody his size, his weight, his age, I don't get no respect for the dude. Like, bro, you quit, quit,
Till Jake Paul box an actual boxer. Somebody
actually,
who do this.
quit fighting kickboxing people.
He said he want Canelo. And I'm like, do you really want Canelo?
Are they the
I
same
mean,
weight?
do you?
Ain't Canelo like 150?
No, I think, yeah, he about 150, 160.
What Jake Paul coming in about 180, ain't he?
I think so. No, wait a minute. Which one is a heavyweight?
I'm not really sure. That's you and Jimmy with the boxing. But I
I'm
know
trying
I
to say.
think
No, I'm talking about the Paul. Which Paul fought Floyd Mayweather?
I
That
mean
was Logan. That
I,
was
I can't
Logan.
I can't really remember, but either way,
No, that was Logan. Logan is the heavyweight.
I mean, I
Either
can't really
way.
remember, but either way, or you know what I'm saying, it was, you know, one of them supposed to fight Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I think it was Jake. And
What happened?
I don't know. I think it's still going. Maybe it's still on. Whenever he want to get his block knocked off, I guess it's on the tape. Because Mike
Well,
Tyson is not finna play with him. I don't think Mike Tyson know how to shuck and jive.
nah, Mike Tyson finna stand in the paint with you. Hey,
He not gonna let you beat him.
your favorite quarterback on TV?
Who's that? Oh, Brett. I mean Aaron.
Yeah, old Rogers. Gonna play the
Yeah, he
Bills.
playing Buffalo. He about to get smashed up. So
Don't do that.
about to get murdered.
He about to go out
Um,
there and throw. He about to go out there and throw for 400.
yeah, okay. that happens. Yeah, he meant to win. Sticking with boxing though, a couple of weeks ago we saw Clarissa Shields become the first ever boxer, man or female, become three-time undisputed champion.
Oh, well, congratulations to her.
She done something nobody has done in boxing.
Is that African American young lady with the belt?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I seen the picture, and I was just like, oh, okay, well,
It was
congratulations
a
to her.
good fight. Good fight. And then what was her name? I think Tracy Baumgardner. She became champion also that
Okay.
day. Another black female walked away with the belt. What in a close fight, and which I thought should have been a draw. But hey, I don't make no judges. I don't make those judgments. And then
I'm pretty
later
sure you
on that day,
like that.
the return of Deontay Wilder, who knocked his guy out in the first round.
He only knocked that nigga out because he looked like Tyson Fury.
I mean, knocked him out straight smooth. Gone. Ain't really much to say about that first round. But then you got the Devin Haney fight, and Haney looked good. It was a good fight. Haney winning, becoming undisputed, taking all the gold. So that was a really good boxing weekend. So much hype, so much greatness. Now I don't see anything coming up anytime soon. That's gonna be pushing the hype. So we'll keep our ear to the ground for boxing.
Okay. So to this
Now the
NFL week,
main event,
that's right, NFL
the
week.
NFL.
All right. So
And
what game stuck out to you this week?
woo, there was some good ones this week. Uh the way Detroit, see, let's start with Miami, Detroit. I thought Detroit was gonna blow the brakes off of the Dolphins. They was every time I look up, that score was like 27-7. I was like, whoa. I'm like, the Dolphins didn't come to play, or they took Detroit light, and then Detroit did Detroit things. They lose 31-27.
Notice they didn't score not 1 point after halftime.
It was just crazy. I'm like, how did you was up again by a margin and you lost?
Bro, I think that team that week had a combined almost 20 penalties. Both of them teams, I think it was like 12 at halftime. By halftime, I think both of them had 6 penalties.
Crazy, 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 crazy.
Shit.
But Tyreek Hill went bananas.
Jalen Waddle
Jalen
had
Waddle went bananas too. So for all them fantasy people, those two boys did their thing. And if you have Tua, he did his thing too.
hey, hey, guess who got Tua?
Who you?
Nick. And guess what
Nigga
Tua was at today?
on the bench.
118 fantasy points from Tua today.
Tisk, tisk.
Nick, do better.
Then
Okay,
we can move right along.
let me get to my game of the week.
Go ahead.
You get my game of the week, right?
It should have been your game. Now that was an exciting game.
Let's not talk about the fact that we completely blew that game with a missed PAT.
But that was DJ Moore's fault. I mean, when I seen PJ bounce to his left and he threw it up, I was like, oh. And then when I seen DJ had a step on him, I'm like, is this? And he caught it. I was like, oh my God. And then he took his helmet off and got them the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which moved the PAT back.
Okay.
And Eddie P, former Chicago Bears kicker, kicked and missed the point after that would have sealed the game by a point.
Let's talk about this. My game of the week was Seattle versus Washington, the New York Giants.
Oof, yeah, and the Giants took that L.
Now, question, right? Are the Seattle Seahawks for real this year?
Yeah.
Are they real deal contenders? Has Geno Smith done enough at week 8 to say he's good enough to be a starter next year?
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at it. When Seattle traded away Russell Wilson, and their only options was Geno Smith or Drew Lock, you were saying to yourself, because even I said it was like, oh, Seattle finished this year. They just going to be playing, and then they're going to grab a quarterback in the draft next year. And lo and behold, the light bulb went off for Geno Smith, and now he's playing like what they expected him to play in the Jets organization.
When the Jets drafted his ass?
Yeah, in the second round, he playing like that. Now he playing like Geno.
Looking like what we thought he was supposed to do when he came out of West Virginia.
Hey, you gotta. Hey, sometimes cat gotta go bouncing. You know, because when Geno came out, he was very cocky. He was arrogant. He felt like he was already there. He was the man. And he had to go, I guess, through this adversity in his career. And now look at him. I guess he appreciated more.
I love it. I love the sound of it. So yeah,
hey, I love it. It's a good story.
I love it. I love the fact that he's finally kind of doing his thing and doing what we all thought he could do. So I love the fact he's leading that team and they're 5-3 and number 1 in the NFC West right now, right?
Yeah,
number 1 in the NFC West. So congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks.
But man, that came at the expense of the Giants, who is another surprise team.
Listen, let's talk about surprise team. Why the Raiders look like they couldn't stop a nosebleed today? God damn.
Oh, the Raiders? Oh, man. You know what, dude? They may not want to admit it, but they made a mistake forcing John Gruden out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Josh McDaniel is going to be a good coach, but you dropped him in, and those aren't his players. That's not really his team. So he got to get his guys in, or the guys he feel fit his system, and that'll be it. But yeah, it shows they missing Gruden. So yeah, man, it's a rough one for them.
Let's talk about your Bears. What happened?
Let's talk about it, man.
What happened?
You know what? I can't be mad at them. You know why? Because I watched a team fight, a young team fight. The only thing is a talent disparity. Dallas has more talent. Dallas been playing together longer. I mean, Tony Pollard, that dude he showed out today in that rushing attack. But then we turned around and we showed out with our rushing attack.
Yeah,
You
Herbert
know,
Herbert almost had a hundo today. He had 99 in the TD.
yeah. And you look at Dak, you know,
Dak
Justin Field
Dak had two Dak had 250, two TDs and a pick.
and a pick. Look at Justin Fields. He had three TDs. Well, four total, one rush and three thrown.
No,
So it's like,
he had two throwing. He had
yeah, three.
well, ESPN didn't say two.
Oh,
ESPN
they said three.
yeah, so he had 151 throwing, two touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, he had three total. Two thrown, one rush. But the thing is, though, this team is supposed to be in a rebuild. Dude, Ryan Poles comes in, strips the team down, you know, got these other cats in there. But they competing. That's the thing. You know, honestly, this game in Green Bay is the only one where they were thoroughly beaten. Hey, what's up, Benji? And and the thing is, if those three fumbles in three consecutive weeks doesn't happen, the Bears have a winning record. They actually fight Minnesota for the division. Those little simple mistakes, is all that's separating them from being well above 500 and a surprise team this year. So
Well,
by them being a young team, dude,
Michael Parsons is doing his thing. He had that fumble recovery, and I'm just like,
man,
this.
let me tell you something. Michael Parsons, you know what? Justin Fields thought, and I know why he jumped over. He thought it was college rules. Once you down, see in college, once you down, you can't get up and run it. So he jumped over him. No, baby, this NFL. You gotta touch him. They can get up and run it. You know, uh, I mean the Dallas defense, man. They was they was phenomenal in putting pressure on Justin, but they couldn't catch him when they had to. That boy can take off on you.
He crafty now. I give him that.
Yeah, I mean you got a QB that runs a 4.4 40, man, and that dude use every bit of 4.4 on him. He keeps he gonna be fun to watch when they get their line situated and they defense situated, and they get him some a number one receiver. They gonna be it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be some fun in Chicago once again. So they got beat by 20, but it was encouraging.
It was encouraging ass.
Yeah, you know. Let's talk about the other team in New York, the Jets. They fall to the Patriots after having the lead.
But for the fact that the Jets are 5-3, they have a
I
better
know it's
they have a
amazing.
better record than the Jet. They have a better record. Hey, tell you, let me ask you this, right? If somebody would have told you in 2022 the Jets will have a better record than the Patriots, the Jets would have a winning record, and the Patriots would be 500. You would have told them it was out your mind.
Yeah, yeah. I told them they sick.
You sick in your head. Matter of fact, right? What if somebody would have told you at the beginning of the season that the teams from the Meadowlands would be 3 games above 500?
Yeah, I'd have like, what
The
teams are
Jets
we
and
talking about?
the Jet at one point the Giants was 6-1.
They 6-2 now, and the Jets 5-3. You can't even, man. Nobody can say they saw this coming. Those two coaches have done a fantastic job thus far with these teams. I mean, and ain't no way to get around it. Brian Dable has unlocked whatever it is that needed to be unlocked in Daniel Jones. He unlocked it.
Yeah, you know what he unlocked? A healthy Saquon Barkley.
That too.
It's easy to look good when you can throw a 2 yard dump pass and watch him do all the work.
Hey, a good running back is a quarterback's best friend.
No, a decent.
But then we talk about the earlier game, the game that been the everybody. If you got up at 9:30 to watch, because it was in London, baby. You're talking Denver and Jacksonville. Now, I believe up until today, y'all gotta look this up, but I believe Jacksonville was undefeated in all their London games. And they lost today to Denver 21-17. And you couldn't believe that they lost to Russell Wilson, which is hard. Now, if somebody told me Russell Wilson
Would be the biggest fraud in the
Broncos
NFL in 2022.
and the Broncos was going to suck and Seattle was going to be better, I'd have been like, man, you crazy. But here we are. Denver. I don't know, man. It's a weird NFL season.
Well, tell you a good game that we missed today, right? The Washington and Indianapolis went down to the absolute wire today.
Oh yeah. 17-16 with the Commanders pulling it out.
So, question, right? Question. Last year we pretty much had all the teams that would be getting a quarterback, right? Right. We had Seattle, Washington, Houston. So the way Geno Smith and Tyler Hickey, not Tyler Hickey, is it Hickey? Heineke? Is Tyler Heineke?
Yeah.
And the way Tyler Heineke and Geno Smith saying, you as a GM, right? Are you keeping Heineke and Geno Smith for next season? Are you saying I'm going to take my first round pick and put it elsewhere, or do you draft the quarterback anyway?
You go draft your QB, man. Conventional, what's up, CEO? Conventional wisdom saying draft your QB. Draft your QB. Now, ain't nothing wrong with that because if you're not going to play the rookie, you shouldn't play him right away. You got Taylor or Tyler, forget Heineke, and you got Geno Smith. The only thing that can happen is they still balling out, and helping your team, and you got a pretty good dilemma on your hands. You got a quarterback you drafted versus this veteran that's helping you win. You got trade bait that can improve your team.
Right.
So
Speaking of trade, babe, what's it? Week 9. So Tally, we 2 weeks away from this.
This week 8.
This week 8. So next week is week 9.
No, next week is week 8 because Tuesday is the trade deadline.
Okay. So right, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Before Thanksgiving, we should see Mr. Deshaun Watson. Does he play?
We're not going to see Deshaun Watson. Deshaun coming back week 13.
Come back week 13?
Yeah.
So he got 13 game suspension. I thought it was 11.
It was 11. They said when Deshaun Watson is eligible to come back, it's going to be against the Houston Texans.
Oh, sound like a setup to me.
Sound like one to me too.
Say, Benji, we got some comments, right? Mr. Banks, my boy Benji Banks. Shout out to Benji Banks Fire Session Podcast. Seahawks will draft a QB.
Yeah. He said McDaniels is trash. They
Damn.
should have kept Rich as the head football coach.
How about the Seahawks? Oh no, what team you talking about?
Talk about the Raiders.
Oh, Josh Mc. It was talking about Josh McDaniels.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, listen, I said it a couple years ago, and everybody kept telling me I was crazy. Bro, how many more years do you give the quarterback had the Raiders? How many more? How much more do you give him?
DC, Derek Carr.
How many more years do you give Derek Carr before you be like, all right, bro, this ain't working out?
Shoot, man. I mean, his numbers aren't bad. And now they just gave him Devontae Adams. You got to at least give him one more with Devontae to see, because, this is Devontae's first year. They don't have that chemistry yet. You got to give him that year this year to figure it out. And then next year, everybody healthy. Ain't no excuse, baby.
Okay, because I wouldn't go for. I'm about ready to get rid of Derek Carr. At the end of this season, I was like, yeah, no, he's not really impressing me too much. He hasn't really done anything to impress me. And
Yeah,
before we head out, what's the game of the week next week?
I don't know. I can't remember. You gotta. I mean, because the other game of the week is happening right now. Green Bay, Buffalo. You know, mm. Earlier was San Francisco and the Rams.
Oh, before we leave, what's up with San Francisco and that quarterback situation? So Jimmy G still going?
Yeah, they crushed the Rams today. So the Rams still got a Super Bowl hangover. They still celebrating or something because
Super Bowl hangover lasting 8 weeks.
man, they can, dude. It really can. They I don't know. Sometimes teams step on the field and make you think that it's all gonna happen the same way it did last year. Like you just turn the magic on, and you can't. You got to prep and prep and prep and prep some more. But they finding out the hard way,
Well,
and
until
we can't forget to talk about the still undefeated Philadelphia Eagles.
they played they played Pittsburgh today, bro.
Don't
They
mean nothing.
they ain't play nobody.
Pittsburgh ain't, Pittsburgh ain't, no JV team. They got 2 wins. They beat somebody, you know. But the Eagles are still chugging along, you
You know,
know.
I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see Jalen Hurts finally getting some weapons. Maybe maybe NFL teams will probably put this around. This is what happens when you give young quarterbacks actual targets to throw to.
Yeah. But, on the final note, we're going to have to talk about the GOAT losing 3 in a row. Now, I don't want to talk about it.
Why we don't want to talk about it?
I still can't believe it.
All I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, are we really seeing an error where guys like Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers are gonna have? You know what it was? Tom Brady should have retired. Tom Brady should have took the John Elway route out. But go ahead and
Nah,
go out on top, my boy. You came to the Bucks. Matter of fact, Tom Brady. You know what? Last year when he lost the NFC Championship game by 3 points, you could have
yeah.
just been out and say, you know what? My last season, I lost the NFC Championship game, but you had to come back. Now, all honesty, it's like, are we even sure that they even make it to the playoffs?
I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. I don't
Okay,
believe Atlanta. And I don't believe the Saints, and I don't believe the Panthers got enough to overtake them. What I truly believe happened is that divorce and those proceedings mess with that dude off the field. Now that
What?
that's over, now that it's over and it's finally finalized, I think he can focus now on football. Not saying the divorce he got past, but that part of it he can just like, okay, because with divorce it's all this uncertainty and like what's gonna happen and what's who gonna get what and how we gonna divide up the time with the kids and once all that is done, you ain't gotta worry about that no more. Now you can get lost at work. Now you can go to work. You're hurting, but you can use work as your distraction now.
Okay. Okay.
So you watch the turnaround. I
So
think it's
Evan,
gonna be a turnaround,
it'd be great for my fantasy.
right?
It'd be great. It'd be great for my fantasy
Because
team.
you got Tom Brady and Mike Evans. So,
Right. They actually, you know what? Even in these past couple losing games, bro, he's actually did pretty good. Even when he lost against the Chiefs, he still put up 114 fantasy points.
yeah,
Week before that, he put up 90 fantasy points. I think this week been his lowest fantasy point game. So, even with that, putting up decent games. So, um, we're just gonna keep an eye on it, man, and we'll be back next week.
yep.
Um, to actually talk about get what week 8.
Week 8, all the trades. What went down at the
They
trade
like the
deadline?
trade. They like the trade deadline.
Yep, Tuesday. Tuesday's the trade deadline.
Here's the thing, right? I don't believe shit till I see it on ESPN because I see all these scenario trades.
Yeah.
So did Corey Hunt really go to the Chiefs or no?
Who's Corey Hunt?
I mean, Kareem Hunt.
Back to the Chiefs? Nah, dude.
Oh,
Kareem was a Chief. They kicked him out. He ain't going back.
okay.
But he going somewhere though. So keep an eye on that. Might wind up down there in Carolina. Who knows? Don't
No,
know. But that's our show for this fine evening.
that's our show for this fine. I'm gonna get here and watch this game. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Packers don't score no points.
And I'm finna watch the Packers get scrubbed out from a happy Bears fan.
Oh, okay, all right. Don't be like that, Tully Tell.
I'm gonna mess with Miss Banks. She the huge
I know it.
Packer fans. So I'm gonna
I
mess
know it.
with her because she been quiet. She been quiet for a while. I'm like, what's all that yibber yabber now?
I'd be quiet too if my team was playing like booty meat.
Yeah, I'm still talking. I'm a Bears fan. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm blue in the face.
That's
But
it,
she
right
been
there.
extremely quiet. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
go mess with her.
them Gator fans was quiet before the game. They perked up at the middle of the game and was toned back down back in the end of the game. I was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's it, man. And y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go check my fantasy. I'm playing Elmo this week.
You playing Elmo this week?
Yeah, I'm playing Elmo, so I gotta beat him.
Welcome those of you that just watched New England take down Detroit. Tom Brady on third down, scans the field and gets sacked. Brady Jerry.
But that was that trash. Hey, before we go, I'm putting this pitch up every week until Russell get right. Until he get right, you gonna stay that.
Russell Westbrook.
What Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson, y'all same damn player until you get right.
The toxicity.
Mm.
Maybe
Right.
next week we'll have some NBA news because the NBA has started. Whatever. Anyway, it's your favorite uncle and your favorite cousin, and we out.
Peace.